I was a second early going live with Restream. I mean, one stream.
You're going to have to get that stream. One stream,
All right,
Restream.
so
there we are. I see it.
now Facebook, on our channel, and
check everything
inside of the Ecamm community, our YouTube page, and Twitter today. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm actually going to all those locations. There we are. So
yeah, I'm just checking everything. We're there. It looks really clear tonight too. So I don't know if I'm
there you go.
Having good internet, knock on wood.
You look good. You better than me. I gotta do something here. Maybe I'll play with your camera on my side.
Yeah, there you go. Dull it down, blur it out a little bit.
Right. Hey, I am DJ Strick, and as you can see, I have none other than Brant Collins with me today. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm great. I want to say this. This is the countdown, and you know it's the countdown because there's actually numbers counting down right here. So instead of us dancing during the countdown or having some long intro, Brant and I just like to chit chat before the show starts as people are coming on so you can actually see and hear us, all right?
Yeah, I'm seeing that we got Mr. Riley's World from West Side is in the house. Rich Graham, of course, is here with us, is Big Rich from Texas. So we're moving across the globe here.
And that's awesome. All right,
Are you able to see their chats?
I'm not seeing the chats right now, and that could be something on my end, a reason why I'm not seeing them, but I'm still looking. So,
all right, that's cool. Just to let everybody know why he's looking, he's actually doing this with OneStream. So it's a little new system, doing OneStream instead of Restream. You can actually catch DJ Strick tomorrow night. He's going to be in the OneStream community running a show, his own show. It's kind of like, when you have the rock band and, the lead singer wants to go off and kind of do a solo career. So we're going to let Strick go out and try his solo career, and we wish him luck with that.
Well, I'm a great singer, right?
I know. That's why you got to have your solo career. But I jumped ahead of you too, so we got a pretty good agreement with us. This is our show we do together, but we both have our own personal brands and things that we want to accomplish. I launched a new podcast, episode 1 of Solo Marketing. You can catch that on Spotify, Anchor, or Apple Podcasts, and it's on my YouTube channel, Brant Collins. So it'll be video and audio podcast. I actually will record live and kind of hang out with everybody and then do a recording and then upload the recording later. And I also, this is the first time I'm trying to Spotify video podcast. So I actually got into their program. So I uploaded, if you're on Spotify, you can find the podcast Solo Marketing. You can actually watch the video or listen to the audio. So that's kind of cool.
That's what's up. So I'm in the back of OneStream Live, and I think I needed to actually have the unified chat done connected before I went live, but I'm still working on it, Brant. I'm still working.
All right. Well, we still got Mr. Riley World. He said we're sounding good and looking awesome as well. Thank you very much. Cast Ahead said, "What's good, everybody?" Because that is our guest waiting in the back room, in the green room.
I'm excited about the show today.
Did you put snacks in the green room?
I should have.
I know.
We may have some Cokes there from last week.
Yeah, and then I know we have we have that rider where people want weird things like green M&Ms and stuff like that. So, got the green room set up.
There you go.
Hope everybody's having a good week this week. It's been a kind of rough week for me. I got new puppies, 2 puppies. We were fostering, but we decided to keep them. So, kind of like having a baby. I'm not sleeping.
How do you do it?
Here we go. We're rolling.
There we go, Brant. And if you can't
see
anything, I'm sure you can see the stream show and that subscribe button there. If you're on YouTube, please go over to our YouTube channel and you can be a subscriber and hit the bell for notifications. So every time we go live, which is this Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, you will be in the know. And every time we have great guests like we have today, you will actually be to see them as well.
Yep, and if you're watching and we don't bring your comments up, we're doing something new tonight. We're having a little technical difficulties. Hopefully Strick can figure it out, but we'll call you out as I see him come in. Like I said, I see Mr. Riley in there and Rich Graham, so hopefully I have some more people pop in and fill out the rest of this show.
So which one are you watching so I can watch the other? I'm going to make sure I pull up like the
I'm
Ecamm
watching
community.
YouTube.
Okay.
I'm watching YouTube. If you want to watch, Melvin Miller actually is on the Ecamm. No, that's on your page.
It's on my page.
So,
okay.
yeah. So if you want to watch, no, that's Ecamm Live Community. I'm sorry.
I see him.
Yeah.
My man.
So I'll watch
Melvin
the YouTube.
Miller. Okay. I got it. So we're doing that
watch the
because I have
YouTube.
a new connection and wow, there's so much going on here. I should have started it earlier and I didn't. But we're here today and we got a great show for you. And I thank everybody for chiming in. Since I can't see them, guys, you got to do extra commenting today. Like I need you to comment more so me and Brant can look down at our phones and see all the comments and talk. So
you guys, you in the way back, yell as loud as you can. So
as
we can
loud
get your
as
comments.
you can. Let us know
Say it
that
3
you
times.
are here with us today.
Oh, it's just what live producing is all about. I've always say it. I'll say it again. What separates an amateur from the pro is you're always going to have a problem 5 minutes or 2 minutes before you go live. It's how you handle fixing that problem or smoothing out that problem that separates the amateurs from the pros, because something inevitably will happen in a live stream.
That is so true.
I've swapped cables 2 seconds before going live before to get stuff to work. So,
and Brant knows me as well. I like the excitement of doing it like 30 seconds after it needs to be done.
yeah.
I was gonna say before, but normally I'm a little late and I'm rushing to get it, but I just love that feeling of getting it done. Today I just should have connected some things earlier, but hey, now I know. So the next time we do a show, and I'm actually gonna do it
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night do a show. I'm gonna do a test before tomorrow's night show just to be sure all of this stuff is active and we can actually get some chat to come in. That being said, Brant, man, thank you so very much for all you do for the show, and also talking about what I am doing with One Stream tomorrow in their community. The stream show with the stream guys, Strick and Brant, is growing. So we have another show with One Stream in their community, and man, you just never know what'll happen next. So you got your content creator job that you're doing right now, and I have another show, and this has happened, within a year and a half of starting the stream show.
Within a year and a half of starting the stream show, completely, changed the trajectory of what we're doing. So for me, because I quit my marketing director at a bank to do this and become a content creator for my public library, and I love it. It's a great job. I love the people I work with, and built a studio over there. Big studio, 3 cameras. Sets, the whole 9 yards. So it's been fun to get back into what I used to do, and that's building large sets. And, now the hard part is wrangling people. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
We've done 2 or 3 podcasts are really great. My boss loves it, but it's like we're getting some like high level Arkansas government types, directors and secretaries, and it's just hard to get them. We can't make it this week. We'll make it next week. Wait a minute, something came up, Right. So that part is, I still think that's the hardest part about podcasting, is organizing guests. But you do ours so well. That's why I don't have to deal with it. So,
well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I get a chance to connect with some great people. All I have to do is just make sure I spell everything right and not send out the wrong links like I did yesterday. That being said, let's go ahead and get to our guest today. He has one of the coolest names in the content creator space. I'm telling you, he should have been a wrestler. That being said, he has a show similar to ours as far as a co-hosting show that he does called Dealcasters, and he also has a business, and I want to say it right, it's Cast Ahead, so none other than Chris Stone. Welcome to the show, sir.
What's going on? What's going on, gentlemen? Like I told you earlier in the green room, man, your show, I can appreciate all that goes into this. And yeah, Brant, man, he was a great, invite. The guest came over. Like, guys, the green M&Ms, so delicious.
Thank you.
Everything that goes into the show is tremendous. And no, seriously, guys, honored to be here. Fan of the show, as you guys know. I watch it regularly, and was really excited to see Strick's invite to come over. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I'm glad, Strick, I'm not the only one. When I first saw Chris Stone, I really thought we were having someone from the WWE. I don't know why. It just sounds like one of those.
Sorry.
Yeah, brothers, listen here.
I could try. I could try to be Hulk. I'm more of a Macho Man guy.
I'm
Well,
definitely
actually,
a Macho
Ultimate
Man
Warrior. Oh, are you
Ultimate
Macho
Warrior,
Man?
there you go.
Ultimate
I'm a
Warrior
Macho
was
Man
my guy.
I don't know what it was. When I heard him as a kid, I always did his voice. It was just easier for me. But it's a more aggressive Hulk Hogan voice. It's a more aggressive Hulk Hogan voice. But yeah, all the same.
My favorite guy was Junkyard Dog. So all of that was going on, and everybody was going towards Hulk and Ultimate Warrior, but I don't know why. I just felt like Junkyard Dog was just that was my guy.
Mine was the Rock and Roll Express. If you were old like I am, we watched wrestling, Mid-South Wrestling out of Louisiana,
Wow.
But actually, I was pulling up some WE stars. I remember now who he looks like. He looks like Chris Jericho.
Oh man,
Chris Stone and Chris Jericho. They look a little bit alike.
One
Yeah,
is the same.
And
One
he's
is
a
the
rock
same.
star.
I get that. I get that. I get Jericho and I get Samuel L. Jackson all the time.
There you go.
I mean,
I do
it's
too.
like it's my cross to bear. It really is. So
Hey, listen, I know it's got to be tough. I know that's got to be tough. So I'm gonna go a little further back. Of course, this is not planned, but for all of the people that love wrestling, this is for you. So. I lived in a city called Opelika, Alabama. That's where I grew up. And it's right on the edge of Alabama, close to a town called Columbus, Georgia. Well, Columbus, Georgia was a little larger, and they did all of the wrestlers. But you had to come through Opelika if you were traveling, even to get to Columbus. It's just an easy couple of exits up, stop. And I would see these wrestlers in the gas stations a lot. And it was the Three Birds.
Freebirds. Yep.
Freebirds, y'all remember those guys? Or Tony Atlas actually lived in the area for a while. If you remember him, he was a big guy, Tony Atlas. So that's how far back I go with wrestling and love it. So now I've watched wrestling recently, only to go back and look at the WrestleMania intros that Hulk Hogan did, Steve Austin, and The Rock. And these guys, they wasn't wrestling that day. They were just coming out to kind of do a promo with the three of them in the stage all at one time and giving homage towards Hulk Hogan. And you want to talk about entertainers?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about at the top of the bar. Now, we're talking about musicians and artists all the time, how well they entertain, how well Beyonce entertains. I'm telling you, all these dude had to do was walk down the aisle, jump into a ring and stand up and grab a microphone, and the people were going crazy.
Bet you there's no scripts either. It's all off the top of their head, I would imagine.
The scripting is they've been doing, they're saying the same things they've always said, like over and over again, but they passed the microphone and was doing it. It was awesome. And Chris, I didn't tell you this. My wife is a musician. She's a jazz flutist. And,
yes. Yep.
So with that, I'm always trying to show her like how she can grow on stage. Like, let's watch this person, let's watch that person, let's watch how they command. Now, she's great at doing it, but you can always learn. But you can even learn like from these wrestlers how they just say some things and then they take a pause.
Well, if nothing else, you look at these guys, these icons, right? But think about all the work that they put into getting up there and getting on that stage. Like, you don't think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just showed up and was just like ripped and could do that and demand, like these guys are in stadiums, right? You're in front of hundreds of thousands of people and you have to be at tip-top shape. Right. And you don't just show up with a microphone in your face. Live video, by the way, live pay-per-view video. And like they put in reps. They put in like they did not wake up like that. They put in the work. And so, yeah, absolutely. You can learn from anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a pro wrestler. It doesn't matter if it's a painter. It doesn't matter if it's a quilter. It doesn't matter. It's like in this creator economy, and when we're talking about, like, why would you want to learn from somebody who's doing the same thing as you? Like, they're taken. Like, why don't you try to get some influence from some of these other people? And, whether it's pro wrestlers or whether it's, I don't know, a dog walker, for crying out loud. I mean, I know it sounds insane, but, you can really learn from people who have had success that are not even in the same industry as you. So I'm glad you did that. That's killer that you do that with your wife and you say, hey, look how this might apply to what you're doing. Because, jazz flutist, pro wrestler, you're thinking these are completely, diametrically opposed. But no, why not be influenced by that and be able to apply it to what you're doing? That's awesome.
Well, I think it fits right into anytime that you're in front of a crowd, even if you're a content creator, and knowing how to work, you don't even, like in this case, we're not even seeing our audience. Like, we can see them when they make comments, and guys, where are the comments? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss anything, but knowing how to say something to get a comment back and then wait, or in our case, you have to do it a little differently. Guess what? YouTube could be almost 40 seconds behind. So I need to, and this is for all of the content creators out there, learning your technology, learning how to use it. You say something, then you fill in the gap. It's could almost be a minute worth of time, 60 seconds worth of time where you're filling in a gap, and then you're able to respond to the comments they made on what you said 40 seconds earlier. You have to know that, and it's important that, for all of us, that we learn our craft and learn our skills, that when we present, people are engaged into what we're doing.
And I'll tell you how important what we're doing is as far as a future career. And I was actually, for my day job, we had a comedy tour come through. We have a small theater, and it was called the Well-Read Comedy Tour, and it's Trey Crowder. He's a liberal redneck. And I watch him on Facebook. It looks just like me or you doing Facebook videos from his car. I mean, and he's always doing some type of political stuff. And but they came in, and I did some B-roll, got them to do some liners for the library. And then we started talking, and he looked at my camera that had a Rode shotgun mic. He's like, "What's that mic? We're trying to do this podcast, and we're doing this YouTube show." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Here, look, check out the stream show." And he was like, there was 3 comics, and Trey, get over here. Look at how good his stuff is. And they wanted to offer me a job on the spot. They were just like, "You need a job?" And I was like, "I can help you do it." But I was trying to tell him he said, in quote, they said, "So many comics are having YouTube shows right now." He said, "We can't compete if we look terrible." He said, we're just doing Zoom, and they need it to look like this. One's in Georgia, one's in Tennessee, and one's in LA. I said, you can do it with this technology, So, you might be really good at this and not ever have your own show or not do successful at your show, but you could probably run shows for other people because they need this technology. This skill set is going to be huge, I believe, from here on out for the rest of the future.
100%. And you're putting that content out there. That's your resume. And we had Kirk Nugent on our show about 3 weeks ago. And, of course, he's got all the things. He's got the website. He's got all of that stuff. But how he gets found is from the content he puts out. And how you'll get found is from the content that you put out. And you might not think, when you put out the show, whether it's the stream show with Chris Stone, or whether it's, an Instagram reel, or whether it's any of the stuff that you're doing, you might not think anybody is watching. You might not, because, the comments aren't there, the likes aren't there, the subscribers aren't there. Trust me, they're watching. Right. And when you get those calls that they say, episode 78, when you were talking to this person, you did this. I want that.
Right.
That's the kind of conversations I have with clients. They go, I watched Dealcasters. You guys did this interview with Junaid Ahmed, and you guys did this, and you guys did this. I want this for my show. How much? That's, it's not how your LinkedIn profile is set up. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to, get all of the, how your website's set up. It is your content sitting out there, which lives forever. And one of the things that I talked with Monty Weaver about when he was on our last Dealcasters Live show is like, if you treat content as more important in terms of it's going to outlive me. It's going to outlive me. Everything, this show right now will outlive me. And I may die tomorrow, which is fine. I may live to 110. But this show will outlive me, and it may make an impact on someone. So when you go live and you treat it like that, I think you treat it a little more importantly, like the stream show. You guys put this together. Like, this is, I can appreciate as a remote producer, as someone who like slaves in Ecamm and putting together all of the moving graphics and all this. This is a beautiful show.
Man,
and this takes hard work. And it takes experience, and it takes reps. And when someone looks at this and goes, man, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You just do the work. You don't have to show up and be, you can't show up and be, DJ Strick and Brant Collins, but you can put the work in to get there. And I just think that this is something, if we can treat it more, like it's more important. It's not, let's just hang out and talk. Let's really try to make this important for people that might be impacted 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. And if we think about it like that, maybe we work a little harder on it and we make better content, which is really what I'm about.
Man, so I love it. That's a good segue into, tell us a little bit more about Dealcasters and what you do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I do a show called Dealcasters with my good buddy Jim Fuse. We're both based here in Atlanta, and I have a business called Cast Ahead, where I work with other content entrepreneurs where they don't want to know how a show is made. They just want a show, and so I do that for them. But Jim has similar businesses, remote production. We do remote productions for virtual conferences like IBM, MIT, other things as well. And so inevitably, when we would work with our clients, so to speak, our customers, the conversation would always go to tech. It would always be like, well, what's the camera you use, and what's the microphone, and how do I get the lights, and all of those things, right? And so you would put together a little Amazon Associates link, right, your affiliate link, and say, well, here you go, and then you'd hope and pray that you would, get the 3% from that. And I was like, Jim, you and I need to do a show together, similar to what you guys are doing right now, which is just amazing. Is like, how can I do a show live and impact more people as opposed to just the clients that I have or the people that I'm having a consultant call with? How can we make this into a thing and have that sort of be broadcast and help more people with just one show? And we were trying to figure out what that looked like. And when Amazon launched there, we watched a video, or Jim watched a video from Ross Brand. And I don't know if you know who Ross Brand is, who just launched another book this week on Amazon, which is the 100 live streaming and digital media predictions. It's volume 2. He did a video on how to be in Amazon, how to go live on Amazon. And Jim watched it, submitted, and got approved in like 10 minutes because he has more Twitter followers than Kim Kardashian. Right. And so when he got approved, he called me and he said, hey, guess what? We're Amazon influencers. I was like, we are what? What are we? What? And so he kind of explained it to me, and I was like, this is our show. This is how we are going to do this. We're going to launch on Amazon, and then we'll worry about all the other stuff. And I was like, all right, our expectations were like this. So 2 hours later, we had a name, Dealcasters. We had a logo with the headphones, and the next week we went live. And it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. And because that's the way it works. It start ugly, right? Let's go. Let's like my acronym that I like to go, which I steal from Craig Groeschel. It is GETMO, which is good enough to move on.
Okay.
And so we don't have to be perfect. Let's just keep going. Let's keep moving and learn from it, and then we'll fix it on the way. And so we launched that show, and next thing we know, we were doing shows. We had interviews with Chris Kermitzos, who heads up Podfest, Dave Jackson, who launched a new book called Profit from Your Podcast. He's a Hall of Fame podcaster. And we learned early on that hardly anybody was on Amazon. Hardly anybody was doing shows and then repurposing them for audio podcasts and putting them out as videos. And so when we were asking these big names, they were like, oh, I can go live on Amazon? Yes. Right. Everybody's got a podcast, right? Or, I guess conceivably, like you would think that, but like hardly anybody has Amazon Live Show. There's less than 2,000 content creators on Amazon. So we learned to say, okay, this is a differentiator. And much like you guys do on this show, we learned that like this is going to be a show. We're going to take the time to create something valuable. We're bringing these great guests on. We're not the Home Shopping Network. We're not QVC. That's just not who we are. But we can talk about stuff. We can pick up a Shure MV88 microphone and start talking about it and say, here's how you're going to use it. And what we learned through the process is like we would get to the end of shows and people would say, I'm starting my podcast tomorrow.
Wow.
I bought these 2 pairs of headphones because I don't know which one I want, and I'm going to return the one that I don't. And I was like, we're doing more live on Amazon than we are individually with clients. And so that's really where Dealcasters kind of was born, where it's at now. Fast forward 2 years later, we're at 100 plus shows. And at the end of May, we're heading up an entire day at VidFest, where we've got 18 great content creators that are on the Amazon Live platform, including a lot of folks that you've had on your show, Dan Courier, Monty Weaver, and others that will be speaking and helping others to really sort of, we're just about evangelizing for this platform because honestly, if you remember, I don't know if you guys remember, YouTube in the early days, I mean, it was hot garbage. I mean, it was really bad, right? I mean, it was like, why am I watching? Everybody's like, you got to get on YouTube. I'm like, why am I watching a fish bowl or whatever? I just like, I don't understand where this is going.
Or somebody on the microphone crunching whatever they were eating, crunching ice or something.
Yeah, ASMR or something like that. It was like, but we all wished, right, that back then we launched our YouTube channels, right? Because now, right now we would be like whatever, but now there's 40 something million YouTube channels and it's an ocean, whereas on Amazon, man, the pool is very shallow, so it's a really great opportunity for people that know how to do great content like yourselves to do a great show and then wake up the next morning and go, oh wow, I actually got paid money to do that because people said, I love that Shure SM7B that DJ Strick is talking into, that he did a demonstration on, and now I'm buying it.
That's awesome, man. Good. So how did you go from your mindset to be an advocate for Amazon Live? Like, I want to know more about that because that gets into more of a heart of a person than a business decision, I think.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy when people look at, that are content creators, they look at other content creators as competition.
Right.
And I think live selling is if you look at what's happening in Asia right now with key opinion leaders and how much product is being sold by people that aren't really actually actively like selling. They're just influencers, and they may not be massive influencers. They're nano influencers because people want to connect with other people that look like themselves. Like, I'm not some massive influencer. I never really pretended to be, but I know enough to be dangerous about a lot of products. And so for me, I just felt like, it's cliche in terms of like, wanting to help people, but Jim and I looked at this platform, and our expectations were like this, but we work really, really hard on creating a really great show and understanding all the nuances in the Amazon influencer program and the Amazon Live program. And the more we learned about it, the more we're like, why can't we just talk about this? Why can't we tell other people about this? This is not a secret. Like how? And so I'm going to be honest with you guys. We catch a lot of flack for that from other people on the platform that are like, shh, don't tell, stop, stop talking about it. Stop having this big, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like Amazon releases a gazillion products a day.
Right.
Just be better. Just be better at what you do. And like, it's only going to help us all, like
high tides lift all boats.
Yeah, that's it, man. Rising tide lifts all ships. That's the way I look at it. I get so inspired by watching shows like yours. Like, there's a ton of other content creators. I'm like, wow, that's a great show. How can I do this? How can I get better? How can I do this? And instead of going, man, these guys shouldn't be doing this because it's infringing on something that maybe I'm entitled to, or I don't know what the mentality is, to be honest. I just feel like this is something that Jim and I not stumbled on, but like are like, listen, there's a ton of people out there, and if you're a YouTuber and you've worked really hard, and that is amazing, and it took a long time, and it still takes hard work to continue to make money, get monetized, all that. If you get approved as an Amazon influencer, you are monetized in 90 minutes.
Wow.
You live stream for 90 minutes, and you're raised to insider level. When you're raised to insider level, your live streams show up on product pages. So right now, if we were live, and I'm talking into a Shure MV7 microphone, if this was your show, you can highlight the MV7 in your carousel, which is run on an iPhone, and the show shows up on the Shure MV7 microphone page. Not just that, if Amazon says, hey, this is a great show, we're going to throw it on the Blue Yeti page, we're going to throw it on this page, we're going to throw it on this page, the Ecamm Mini page, we're going to throw it on a bunch of pages. So when you go live, you'll see at the end of your show, you'll see thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of views. Now, all of those views are, not people that are leaning in and chatting and, buying. There's some of them that are going to be sort of like drive-by views, right?
Right.
But what kind of draw is that? Imagine if right now you could go live on YouTube and say, okay, I want to cast my fishing pole and pull in 5,000 people right now. And and maybe you get 5% of those people that will stay and watch you, you'd take it, right?
That's a big deal.
Who wouldn't want that? No, I would totally want that. Anybody would want that. I mean, that is free marketing. It's better than any advertising you could book, Facebook ads, any of that kind of stuff. You show up and you're the expert of whatever you're talking about. You're interviewing other experts that are talking about stuff like that, and you're creating influence and impact for your brand on the one of the biggest malls in the world.
That's crazy.
I love how you have broken that down for us. And for content creators, a lot of times we get so into YouTube being, for lack of better terms, big mama for all of us. Like, we want to be known on YouTube. Yeah. Like, that's just the pinnacle. We've heard from Instagram influencers how, being monetized there is not good. Being monetized on Facebook and on TikTok is not like being monetized on YouTube. But what Amazon is presenting, and which I think people need to know, and Chris, you can help me break this down, they have a connection with their live stream through Twitch. So they have the technology through a whole nother company, and it is, you've already said this, 2007, 2008 YouTube. So there's still like some time for it to grow, but the growth is you're in front of people that are purchasing items that all you have to do is just talk about them inside of your live stream. Now, Brett and I talked about this. Now, the biggest thing to kind of overcome to getting with Amazon is actually getting into the influencer program. Do you have any information on how people could get through that threshold to maybe be an influencer on Amazon?
Yeah, so the first thing you got to do is you got to, and anyone can do this. It's like the, just sign up to be an Amazon associate. It's their affiliate program. So if you're a content creator now and you don't have that, like just do it right now.
The associate, there's Amazon associate, step number 1.
Yes. So, just Google Amazon Associates Program. You log in with your Amazon account, and you basically say, here are the sites that I will be promoting your links. And what that allows you to do is, if you want to create, a list of your favorite live streaming gear or your favorite books or whatever is sold on Amazon,
right?
You can create that and also create affiliate links. So if you have a website, blog, YouTube channel, all of that stuff, you want to make sure that you're first and foremost an affiliate. And anyone can do it, so it's not like you need some sort of weird approval. It happens. I would say that the only thing is that I believe it's like within the first 90 days you have to make at least something like $18 of commission.
Okay.
So that it's something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's something like that. But I will say this. If you do submit, and we'll talk about this here in a second, if you do submit and are approved for Amazon Influencer, you do not have to worry about ever keeping that qualification for Amazon Associates, because you'll make $18 in the first 20 seconds.
Gotcha.
So don't even worry about that. But the first check mark for you is become an Amazon Associate. Once you become an Amazon Associate, then you go and submit to be a part of the Amazon Influencer Program. So again, just Google Amazon Influencer Program or Amazon Influencer Program submission. And basically what you do is you log in as yourself, and then you choose one of 4 platforms. And so you would pick your most impactful platform, and that's YouTube, it's Facebook Business, it's Instagram, and it's TikTok. So you pick one and you say, okay, this is my most impactful program. A lot of people go, no LinkedIn, no LinkedIn, no Twitter, used to be Twitter, no longer Twitter. And so you basically, and then the next question everyone's going to have is how many subscribers do I need in order to be approved? How many followers do I need to get approved? The answer is we don't know. But what I can tell you is that it's plus or minus 2,000 is kind of, so we've seen some people get approved by submitting with 2,000 plus followers on Instagram. We've seen others not get approved with 2,000 plus followers on Instagram. Some approved on YouTube with around the same number, Facebook Business around the same number. TikTok, haven't had a lot of conversations with people who have had an experience on getting approved or not. But I will say this. If you don't get approved initially, keep working at it for a little bit and then resubmit. Gotcha. Because, as you know, Amazon is a huge company. They're farming out a lot of people that are involved in a lot of things. And so what we found out, a couple instances, we've had a couple of creators, some of which have been on our show, and they've said, hey, I submitted my YouTube channel, which had like 7,000 subscribers, which is like plenty, right?
Right.
And I got turned down. And I was like, really? Go ahead and resubmit. They resubmitted, were approved just like that.
Wow.
So it's just different people that are involved in that. And I think they move the goalposts in terms of subscribers. Amazon moves the goalposts in terms of subscribers, because I think what we're finding in the Amazon influencer space, and this is another reason why Jim and I evangelize for the platform, is a lot of people are being brought into Amazon, being approved by Amazon as influencers, and have never gone live.
Wow.
Never gone live. But they have an amazing amount of followers on Instagram, and that's great. So they've qualified. And so now they're just like, what do? I've got, I don't have a webcam. I don't have a microphone. I have a laptop. I have my phone. How do I go live? And so This is another reason why I think, if you want great live, if you haven't and can qualify and you have a halfway decent live show, you can really, look to make some, great incremental revenue. And I think the other thing too, Strick and Brant, is that some people, when they look at Amazon, they think they have to change their show, right? They have to change their whole brand of what they do. There's a ton of creators that either we've talked to that we know. Jeff C., for example, fantastic content creator, right?
Love his show as well.
Yeah, social media news live that he does with Gray Stuffy, right?
Right.
He goes live on Amazon. So he's figured out a way to just kind of like bolt that on to his existing show and kind of say, you know what, I'm going to keep this product in the carousel. They do like a pre-show where before they go live, and they go live on Amazon, and they kind of talk about some products before they do that. He does a run of shows so he can take a chunk and then repurpose that for a podcast. It's like, you can, like, this is creator economy, man. You create your own kind of lane. Amazon wants it to be a product oriented show, right? But you can continue to make it a product. The show we're having right now, we could absolutely go live on Amazon. And I talked about a microphone. You could have Brant's microphone in here. You could have my lights that are behind me in there. You could bring up any sort of product. If somebody in the Amazon chat says, hey, what do you think about the Shure SE215 in-ear monitors that Chris has got on? All we do is we just move the conversation there, answer that person's question, and then move on. And Amazon's fine because they watch the live streams, and we sort of like, I guess, in compliance of what they're doing.
Right.
And I think a lot of content creators think, oh man, I gotta show up and do a QVC thing. You don't got to do that. We do shows. We do product oriented shows. But we also do shows like this where we're having conversations with people. This ends up being a podcast. It really is something to where it's an open season for content creators to like really do creative things on that platform.
I love it.
So once you're connected to Amazon, can you make different shows? So you have different channels, or you can make you can have we could have the stream show, but we could also have the Kung Fu Karate show where we're selling nunchucks or something. So.
I would absolutely watch that show. That'd be awesome.
Right.
I need some nunchucks. But so I think if you like some of these creators will qualify for multiple shows. So like they may have an Instagram channel where they qualify and they have like 3,000 followers, and then they have a YouTube channel where they have 5,000. So what they'll do is they'll create two different shows. So one, as an example, Christina Nietzsche is a fitness trainer. And so she has a show where she goes live and she just trains live. And so you can tune in, and she's got all the gear, all the fitness stuff, and the nutrition and health and wellness and all that stuff going on. But then she also qualified on another channel, and she does a cooking show, which is healthy and does whatever. Then there's other people that are turning it into like a network. So they actually hire talent to come on and talk about products as well. So it really is, it's an open season, and there's a lot of people that are getting creative on the platform. And by the way, you do make some money on the platform. I haven't brought up money because, honestly, it's not like it's not Jim and I, it's not our number one reason why we're doing it. We love doing it. But I'm telling you, it's, between like what, you guys had Dan Courier on the show, the shoppable video stuff, because you get a shop on the platform where you can create shoppable video and shoppable photos. Those go on the product page as well. So you're getting, incremental revenue from the sale of those things that just live out there. That is passive income. Is that a part of
the influencer deal as well, or could you do that as an associate?
You cannot do that as an associate. That is a part of the influencer. And so I would suggest that anyone, that is listening or watching today, and you do get approved, that's what I would say would be the first thing you do, is to put together three really good product videos, get those approved, get your shop together, and then go live for like I said, 90 minutes or so. So you'll graduate out of their low level into Insider. That's all it takes, is just go live for 90 minutes, really. And then once you get on Insider, then when you go live and you highlight a product, it starts to go into those product pages. And if those product pages have your shoppable videos as well, that is the kind of stuff that will, when you decide you can't, for the next 3 days, I can't work on Amazon, Amazon's still paying you, because people are buying products that are, from your live streams and your shoppable videos ongoing. It's great passive income. And if you can somehow work it into your mix as a content creator and stay within Amazon's guidelines, sort of cobble it in, like Jeff C. was one example. Geraldine Wilkins, I know I've seen her. You guys had her on a show as well. She's like a rock star in the quilting industry. She has an amazing show. She's going to be at VidFest as well. This is incremental revenue that if you stay on top of it, it really is worth your time.
So let me ask you this question, because we want to be able to help streamers in this way as well, Chris. Amazon is one way. Someone is trying to get into the content creator space. Either they're recording videos or they're going live, and they're having a hard time figuring out how to monetize it. Because, with longevity of this, if there's not some type of revenue coming in, it's going to be hard for people to stay in the content creator space. Because, it's like, I'm failing at this. I can't, I got to do something else. So how do we help those people, whether it's Amazon Live or some other things that you may know of that can kind of help a streamer monetize their activity as they create content?
Yeah, I love that. So, okay, I would say two things. Number one, I think if someone is not giving something a certain amount of time, you got to develop a little more patience. A lot of stuff is a long game. And if you're someone who's wanting to get monetized on YouTube, this. This is a long game. If you're someone that wants to monetize on your audio podcast, this is a long game. Amazon, that game is not as long. I will tell you that. So your patience, you don't need as much patience for that. But I will say this. So you will need to develop people that trust you, people that will follow you up a hill. And, I'm going to harken back to our conversation we had with Monty Weaver this past week, and we had him on because he does this so eloquently, is how you can be a content creator and you don't need a 6-figure subscriber base. And he does make it sound simple, we know, but you still need to put in the work. And that is, what do you already love that you have? Talk about those things.
Gotcha.
Talk about those things to those people. Like I didn't start out with a Shure MV7 microphone and a Sony ZV-1 camera and all of this stuff. I graduated to this point, but I talked about the stuff that I had on the way there. I used a Zoom H6 as my interface and a Scarlett 2i2, and we developed a show around trying to help people through that. But you don't have to, all of a sudden think you can have a conversation with these top-level brands. Talk about the stuff that you know, because there's a lot of people that are in your same boat and below you that you can help. And when they can follow you along, they're going to be there, and they're going to be your super fans. They're going to be the people that when you go on Amazon, they're going to follow you, and they're going to buy everything that you've got. They're going to subscribe to your course. They're going to, your email, like all of the stuff that you need as a content creator. Just be you and work on the stuff that you know, and people will follow. They will, we're in the, we're talking to a gazillion people right now. If you treat it like that, like I said earlier, this is important. There's a lot of people right now that aren't watching me right this second, but will. And so that's how I think. How is this going to affect someone a year from now, 2 years from now? And if I'm talking about a a cheap microphone, it doesn't matter. If I like the microphone, I know how to use it. Let me show somebody how to do it. Here's a button right here. Did you know about this button? This is what I do this right here. Oh man, let me put that video out. You have no idea how many times a video gets put out by a content creator and they're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. Right. I had no idea that if you click this button, it does this. And all of a sudden, that person, fan for life.
That's right. Because you got that. You have their trust at this point. You know what you're doing.
Yes.
I can learn from this person. And I do think it takes a little time. As a content creator, you do have to give your Brant and I talk about this all the time. I believe that people want to know that they can trust you to show up. And that takes months and months of showing up. And then those people become super fans of yours. They say what you say. They can mimic what you do, but they have the ultimate trust that you, and I would say this, I have that for someone like Doc Rock. Like Doc Rock during the pandemic, he was on almost daily. Like you could trust that he was going to be there providing some content that if you stuck around long enough, you're going to learn something that day that was going to help you through your content creator journey. So providing yourself a little time for people to gain trust in you, I think is important. We changed the way our show was formatted just a little bit. Because of that, we decided that instead of doing seasons, we're going to show up every Sunday. Like at first, we were just doing, Brant, you remember this conversation? We were just doing 10 shows. We're just going to do 10 show episodes and take a break in between. But you know what the break did? It stopped our momentum.
Yes.
And while we were gone, people were finding other things to do on Sunday nights. And it took time for us when we started back. Not only it took time for us to get back into the rhythm, but it took time for our audience to get back in the rhythm of showing up for that, whether it's in the Ecamm community group or on our YouTube page or our Facebook page, all of those pages. It just took time for us to gain our audience again. So I get it. I get it 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we talk so much about like putting in the reps for consistency's sake,
right.
And you get better. But what you're talking about is so key because, we can watch 10 shows from you guys, and know like you guys are putting in the work. But like, how long are you putting in the work? Because we talk about it. We talk about, we preach about it, right? We talk, you got to be consistent. This is going to help with the algorithms. You got to do this. You got to get better. But if you're not doing it yourself, like what is your resume, right? What are people looking at, And if you took a break for 3 months, I mean, listen, if you got to take a break for whatever reason, I'm not going to disparage that, but it's like, people, people see that. And like I said, it kind of goes back to the other thing I was saying is like, if you think people aren't watching, if you think people aren't listening, they are.
I agree.
I'm sorry, 100%. Brant, I cut you off, man.
Oh, no, that's fine. I go through this daily with, obsess about the analytics too much, can't get into this Amazon program, can't get into that program. And I'm a huge, Seth Godin fan, so I'm revisiting the book The Dip, that everybody hits the dip, right? That you start out high on top, and then it kind of, if you can get through that dip and start going up the other side, is when you find success. So it is hard. I don't want to say it's not hard to anybody out there, just in your own trusting yourself, your own mental psyche, to just be like, man, for me it's like, man, I got 100 followers on my new channel, the solo marketing channel. That's a long way to 4,000, but I had to stop.
Come on,
to 1,000, right? But I just had to stop looking at it and just say, you know what? Just keep grinding, do the thing, and it'll happen. And it's yes, it gets worrisome, and you want to be a part of some of these other programs. And like I tell everybody, sometimes it's not because I want to make the money; it's because I just want to see how the tools work, so we can help other people learn how to use the tools. But you just got to keep slugging at it and keep going at it and tweaking. We're still talking about tweaking this show a little bit. We're just going to keep kind of changing things till we find the perfect mix that just takes us to that next level. So I tell everybody, don't be afraid to start. Just start, and you'll figure it out. It's as long as you're willing to change and you're willing to not get stubborn, you're you're willing to learn, you will find
Yeah.
success.
Yeah, make your show 1% better every time you do it. 1% better. And I hope this was 1% better than last week. I hope.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to say it just because I'm on screen.
No,
last week is hard because last week was a pretty crazy show all about NFTs and creators. So I think that one had me mind bending my thought process all week. But this as well has also helped me think different about same thing Dan said, as I didn't realize the whole the video. If you did the review video, you're getting paid on those because that's how I buy products. If it has a video, I watch it.
Yes.
I want to see how it look. If it's a mouse, like say this, how big is it really look in someone's hand, or so I'll go to a video first, and I go look at star ratings first, and then if there's ones that have a good video, and I'll kind of look through them, and I always like the ones that are a little bit better produced, that aren't grainy. So, and I had no idea that was, so I think the other thing I learned is in my head, me and Strick have talked this all the time. I was like, Strick, I don't want to do that for 3%, right? 3% of a $30 thing. I just didn't see the volume that, you're thinking millions and millions of people are buying these products. Even if you're getting 30 cents, it's a lot of people, it's just that volume is just insane. It's even hard to fathom in my mind. So I have to
it's a lot of volume. It's a lot of volume. And I think, the other thing too is like the shoppable video stuff is it's a different thing than what we're doing right now. We're doing a live stream. We're talking to your community. We're hoping that this provides some value for them so that they can stream better and become better content creators. But like when you've got a shoppable video for your mouse that's on a page, like you have to, in your mind, when you create that video, okay, I'm a person that is ready to buy. I'm basically like, I'm ready to I'm between this mouse and this mouse and this mouse. What video do I need to create to answer or videos, by the way? You can create 3 for each product.
Wow.
What videos can I create that would help that person make that purchase? And so we don't look at our videos. When you see any of our shoppable videos, our videos are not like, how can I just, hit the easy button and do a 31-second video that just goes, here's this, here's that, here's that. No, like I want to say, okay, if it's a monitor, how good is the quality of the monitor? What does it look like when I'm gaming? That's a question. You go down on the product video and you go, what are the most upvoted questions? Okay, that question says, what's the warranty like? Okay, let's do a video that demonstrates the product, but make sure that we early in the video have some sort of graphic that says what the warranty is about. Like,
I like that.
That's what you're serving this up for people. That's what Amazon wants in order for you to do that. We can create that, and then you create that trust with someone that says, those guys answered my question. I bought this thing. That thing worked for me. I'm going to buy something else from them. And that's kind of our mentality with shoppable video. The live stream stuff for us is more about having conversations like this, helping people. If people want to, we'll do shows where we say how to set up your live stream, how to set up a podcast. What are the great mics, lighting, all of that kind of stuff. We'll do shows like that for sure. And those are kind of the ones that probably if I'm gonna be honest, those are the ones that probably make more money or whatever, but Jim and I just love having conversations like this.
That's cool.
And love being able to sharpen the irons with you guys and other content creators and help people. That's really why we're doing it. And it's nice that we get a little money from Amazon to do it, but it's not lost on us that they're kind of in control of that stuff. And at any point in time, they could snap their fingers, and this thing's all gone away. So we're trying to work on our stuff off the rented land, and trying to, as a content creator, which I think is very important, that you take control of everything. Make sure you got your email list together. Make sure you got your website, your courses, like whatever that stuff is that you can control. Don't leave it all in YouTube's hands. Don't leave it all in Amazon's hands. Don't leave it all in whatever platform's hands, because they can snap their fingers and say, you know what, you're canceled, or we're not doing this program anymore, or you know what, we're going to chop the commission in half. They could do that. I mean, what are we going to do? Complain about it?
I mean,
we
changed
can't.
the commission before.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. Just happened to CNN Plus, right? There's like 4 or 5 huge people left. One guy left, Fox. Another person left NPR. People that were there for years. They went to CNN Plus. It didn't even launch yet. New owners came in and said, we're scrapping it. And so now, I mean, just within days. I mean, this is multi-million-dollar development, and then just change on a dime. So I'm 100% with you. You got to invest in yourself and control the things you can control, and know that you can move from platform. And I was talking to Strick about this the other day. I actually had some LinkedIn conversations with Jim Louderback from VidCon, and he did a company called Revision 3 back when I was trying to do an internet startup that was kind of mimicking the same thing. And I come from TV, and it's all about the networks, right? So you just really have to make your show, and it can, the distribution part, it's just whatever's hot right now. If TikTok launches 1-hour videos and it becomes the hottest thing, then we know we can just port our show over to that, because we built a brand around the stream show and the stream guys. So don't get focused on just one platform. Worry about the content. And in my mind, from a TV personality, it's the show, because you're selling that show. In my mind, we try to make this show that if I could sell it to TLC or some cable company somewhere, it would fit, right? It's we have bumpers, we have a time schedule, and that could be another source of revenue. You just never know today. You just don't know. So just always just work on the content and, like you said, the branding and how to capture those people for yourself.
Absolutely. This is your resume in a lot of ways, right? So, if anybody wants to know, Brant or Strick, like they're going to Google you, and one of these shows is going to come up. Right. And I'm telling you, man, and like when you think nobody's listening, like I get contacted all the time, and they're like, oh, I saw the show you did, and it was a show like 2 years ago, so I'm a little cringy, right? But they're like, I really loved how you did this, that, and the other, And so that's why it's like you got to keep, even when you think like nobody was watching, somebody is going to watch. And, it might not be this show, it may be another show, but like if you can treat it with that sort of reverence, I think that will make you better. That will make you better in the moment. That'll make you better in the next moment. And that'll help you get better and learn going forward, because you never know when somebody watches and when somebody listens, and what that kind of impact can do. And I'm not talking about financial impact just. It could be, what you said really touched me because of, this, that, or the other. I mean, that's
impact.
That's impact, man. Yeah. That's greater than than any financial stuff, and I understand we got bills to pay and all that good stuff, man. But when I'm telling you, when somebody says to me, when you told me to get this piece of product, I did it, and then that got me going on my YouTube channel, or that got me going on my podcast, like that's what hits me, man. That's what gets me. It's not like, oh man, look how much, whatever I made on this particular video or whatever. It's like, but when somebody tells me that, that gets me in the heartstrings, You know
what gets me? What gets me is we're having you on this show, but you're actually setting up for VidFest, the Amazon. You got a whole day with 18 speakers. Like, I really love the fact that you guys are having the opportunity to put this together, but I need all of the details for everybody to know. So I'm looking at the poster right over your shoulder there, and I think that's really cool. But can you tell everybody, what's going on with this VidFest and the part you guys are playing?
Yeah, let me hit that Ecamm virtual cam.
There you go.
Because we had a shout out to Ecamm for my virtual cam. This is what Jim and I use all the time. But yeah, this is the event. If you go to vidfest.dealcasters.live, that'll get you all the information that you need. The whole event, the 4-day event, is VidFest and PodFest together, and there's so many content creators. It's like Roberto Blake, Dave Jacks, there's so many people that are there. All day Friday, we're doing an Amazon event, and I'm going to scroll down here and just show you the amount of speakers that we have that through the course of that day. Monty Weaver, Melody Johnson, Kirk Nugent. There's a lot of folks here
Our
that
people,
maybe if
man,
you,
I love it.
Yeah. So Geraldine Wilkins, Gracie Ryback. There's a lot of people here that that your community may not know just yet, and we call them Amazon famous.
Right.
But there's a number of people. Jeff C, but there's a number of people. Justin Moore, who is a company called Creator Wizard. We're going live with him on Tuesday. He works with creators to get brand deals, and he's a master of that. And so it's just it's Dan Courier, Bradley Vincent, who it has Here's the other thing too. We've got a number of these people that are speaking at VidFest that are not necessarily Home Shopping Network QVC people. They've said, hey, we can do our show and do it on Amazon and succeed. Bradley Vincent is one of them. Bradley teaches. I'm not sure if you're familiar at all with him, but what he does with graphics and it's just incredible. Denise Lipka, who does, she actually teaches art classes to kids. And so she goes live on Amazon and paints and illustrates and shows you how to use that. And she's got all of her tools in the carousel. And it's just an incredibly, an awesome show, what she does. So, yeah, that's the event that we're doing down in Orlando. It is Friday, May 27th, and you can get tickets at vidfest.dealcasters.live. And if you use the code Amazon, 20% off just for the stream show viewers and listeners tonight.
There you go. Well, thank you. Thank you for that 100%.
You know what I love about this graphic of all these people, Strick?
What's that?
7 of those people have been guests and started with us on the stream show.
That's awesome.
Or with us in the very beginning for, because we know Bradley for a long time helped us all get to where we were on our show before
he's awesome.
Brought in graphics. So, and then Chris, you got Chris, Kirk, Monty. We had Jeff on not too long ago. Geraldine Wilkins. We did a behind the stream with her. So Dan Courier. So there you go. So see, guys.
Well, so that's where we went to your show and we said, okay, this is where we go to get our speakers.
Exactly.
Right. So if you want to come to our show, and you never know, you might be a speaker next time. So
never know.
But I also see 7 other people that Strick we need to reach out to have guests on our show. So we can all help each other. So this is amazing. I wish I could go. I would go just to meet Bradley. I've had a lot of conversation with Bradley in the background over the last 2 years. So I think he's an amazing person. So love all you.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people are just like, it's great that we're going here, but we just want to meet a bunch of people, right? It's like, in real life, finally.
Steve Worthy speaking one day. You got Rob Balasabas. So there's all people that we've had on the show. Strick, Kevin Colby. So, I mean, there's just a ton of people. Looks like a lot of fun. And guys, go buy your tickets and get down there if you can. Because I will say, pre-pandemic, I did a lot of traveling for I worked for the state of Arkansas on tourism, and I traveled all over the United States. And I've done that before in my past. And going to conferences is the best way to make connections. I mean, you can sit on a lecture and talk to someone after and answer all your questions, or all of a sudden you've made a connection for life. So go to the after parties. All the deals are made in the after parties, right? You just connect on that behind the scenes kind of way. And so those networking events are so important and so inspirational. They get you pumped to get back and do your job and know that there's other people out there. And a lot of times it's not other people succeeding. You're meeting other people struggling just like you is what it's like. Yeah. Oh, I'm not the only one that's having this issue. So, I think they're important to go to. So go use that code and go today if you can.
I love it. Hey, Mr. Chris Stone, this is what I'm going to end the show. This is how we're going to end this show, at least this segment with you. Here, we all have said it, and now we have to do it. We have to put our money where our mouths are. If you can, bring up your best Macho Man Randy Savage to tell people how they can connect with you. I promise you I won't leave you by yourself. I'll do mine, and I know Brant has one ready.
Well, brother.
Come on.
If you want to connect with me, there's only one place that you can connect with me. It's chrisstone.contact. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. I love it. Ooh, I'm ready, Chris. I'm coming to chrisstone.contact, and I'm going to write it in. I'm going to use my keyboard, Chris, and I'm going to type, and I'm going to get you right where you are.
Oh, yeah, listen here, brother. It's your man, Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm telling you right here. You better snap into a Slim Jim and get over to the streamshow.live and catch our, sign in for our email list. Oh, yeah. Yeah, brother.
Now we're making everybody do their favorite wrestler when they come on the show.
Right. Listen, okay, my throat is hurting right now, but I had to do it. I love doing Macho Man Randy Savage, so thanks for bringing that out of me today. If nothing else, we can at least repurpose that, right? Who cares about all the other stuff? Let's just do Macho Man TikTok. Randy Savage, and definitely, I know he passed a couple years ago, so that's our montage to him and all of the entertainment that he gave us over the years. Chris, one more time so people can really hear you. How can they connect with you?
Yeah, I'll make it easy. It's chrisstone.contact. That's all my stuff. So it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You can connect with me at any place that you want to. God, my voice. I guess I could never be a pro wrestler, and I guess I'll have to recover for the next couple of days. But yeah, chrisstone.contact, and you could connect with me there, wherever. LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, Friendster. No, not Friendster.
I got it.
But anywhere. MySpace, right.
There you go.
Well, man, we definitely appreciate you coming to hang out with us.
Thank you, man.
And,
this is awesome.
It's been a great show.
You guys have a great show. Yeah. Hey, I love your show, man.
I want to apologize that it took so long for us to get you on, man. We should have done this months ago, but I'm glad that it happened. And
I also want to thank Chris. I was streaming 2 hours the other night and just doing some behind the scenes building my new show, and you popped in and said some things because I was using my PC. Man. So thank you for watching me over there. So appreciate when we see, other creators supporting other creators. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, that I'm excited for your podcast, and again, guys, thanks so much for having me on. I hope this is the first of many. And like I said, tremendous show, and whatever I can do to support you guys, please let me know.
Appreciate it. Hold what you got, Chris. Brant, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Another great show right here on the Stream Show. Another great guest, and the information that was given from Chris. I mean, if you're not trying to get to Amazon and VidFest and figure out how to get to Chris Stone, you're missing out.
The whole time he was talking, I was sitting there checking Amazon to see if all my accounts, which one would get me into the program. So I'm not in there yet. So we got some work to do, brother. We got to keep plugging away. But I will hint to everybody out there, if you are having a conference, I know 2 guys that would love to be MCs and help you with your conference. So just let me know, and I can talk to DJ Strick. I know him personally. I think he would be into it.
I think you'll be into it as well, Brad. Hey, tomorrow night, inside of the One Stream community, I will be doing my first live for them, producing. Of course, I like their software. We're using their software today, and I would just want to tell everybody on our page and inside of the community, just come support. If you're not on the OneStream community, just OneStream Live, go to that community page, join the group, and just come through and support. It's going to be information about OneStream, who is now one of the destinations that you can use with Ecamm. So
what time again is that?
6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay.
6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You have me on Mondays. So that's where I'll be. So Sunday here, Monday there, and then I have like tons of stuff to do throughout the week. But I'm just grateful that there's some growth in what we are doing. So what we're teaching is happening in real life for us. So I think that's really cool.
I'm excited for you. I'll have to check it out. If you need a guest or something, you get stuck, let me know. I'll bail you
you're
out.
Already down, Brant. I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean,
and hey, if you don't mind, I do have, if you go to youtube.com/Brant Collins, that's my channel, and I've changed my branding. Solo Marketing is the show. I've done my first episode so far. You can find it on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast for right now. You can actually find the video on Spotify as well as YouTube, and just go over there and subscribe, if you will, on the YouTube channel, because I don't have a set schedule yet. I'm going to do it once a week, but usually it's going to be in the late evenings, and I'm going to just record it live because it helps me to have some people to talk to and engage with, and they can ask some questions and things like that. And actually, if you go to my website, www.brantcollins.com, there's a leave a message tab that will connect you to the Anchor app, and you can leave a voice message. So if you have a marketing question, and I will play it during the show.
I love it, Brant. That's really cool, man. Hey, it's been a great show. Thank you for everybody that watched this. I do apologize about the comments not coming on the screen, but next week we will have that together. See you guys
All right.
next Sunday.